Good morning, boys. Unfortunately, I am not in school today. I am engaged with some HSC marking, which also means we can't continue watching Grave of the Fireflies today, but we will do so in our next lessons. So in the meantime, what I want you to do is, first of all, I want you to have your 10 minutes of reading time. And then what I want you to do is, when you go to the boy in the striped pajamas and Grave of the Fireflies on canvas, go to Term 4 Children of War. And I want you to scroll down to the bottom of the page and look at this section here with the boy in the striped pajamas and Grave of the Fireflies. And we can scroll down because we've gone through an awful lot of this already. Okay, this is the chapter 1, the chapter 2, chapter 3, 24, chapter 4, I should say. We've looked at Gretel's response. And what I want you to do is, because we've looked at chapter 12, which is Bruno's questions, why there's so many people on that fence and what are they all doing there. You should have all of that up to date so far with the boy in the striped pajamas. You should also have finished the up to this section here in your workbook based on Kobe before the firebombing, because that was part of your homework. So just make sure you have all of that completed. Now, what I want you to do now is to sort of scroll down, and I want you to look at this section here, whereby we're going to look at vulnerability. Okay, so you have your task here, which is defining vulnerability. I want you to find examples from the novel. Okay, so you have all completed reading Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I want you to be able to find examples from the novel that align with different components or a few sort of versions of vulnerable. Okay, so I want you to look up, copy the word vulnerable, then use it in the sentence, apply it to understanding of the novel. Okay, the Macquarie Dictionary says susceptible to being wounded, not protected against emotional hurt, not immune to moral attacks, and weak in respect to defense. Okay, but what you've got to look at here is particularly these three aspects. Okay, susceptible to being wounded. Okay, now that could be literal, but it can also be sort of figurative. So you can look at the fact that someone gets wounded in war, then there's also an emotional wound as well. Okay, so that means that individuals are not protected against emotional hurt, and they're not immune to moral attack. Okay, now I want you to sort of find examples from the text. And so you can start this sort of database in your exercise books, or indeed in a Word document. You're working this on your own. And I want you to find examples from the novel with quotations, as we know, okay, about how an individual or a child in particular, right, how they are not protected against emotional hurt, how they're not immune to moral attack. And I want you to sort of complete that to the best of your abilities by the end of the lesson. Okay. This is going to be an ongoing basis, so I'm not expecting you to have the full novel completed, but you should most definitely be looking at how, for example, even in the early chapters, is Bruno exposed to emotional hurt? I think he is, looking at the fact that they had to move from Berlin to Auschwitz. Okay, so I want you to find examples similar to that of individuals being, I suppose, being exposed to emotional hurt and they're not immune to moral attack. Okay, so complete that as best you can, and if you have any questions, you can catch me an email. Okay, have a good day.